EnterTalk Radio, you're in to all things music.
Welcome to Sharpen the Axe. Explore the bleeding edge of guitar and bass gear. Discover a sound uniquely your own and cut through the noise. With your hosts, Eric Lucero and Paul Berezetsky.
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Eric Lucero.
And I'm Paul Berezetsky.
Of Sharpen the Axe on EnterTalk Radio, powered by Pitbull Audio. And well, welcome to a new show. We got a nice new setup.
We've been doing a little bit here. We've been doing a little bit of remodeling here in the past week or so.
Yeah, it looks like it. We got some a nice classic album surrounding us back here.
Yeah, we're almost done. We got a couple more little finishing touches to add that we didn't have time to do, but I think this looks a lot cooler than the stuff we threw together before.
And yeah, it's the continuing evolution of Sharpen the Axe. This is like set revision number 4, something like that.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny. I've been going through our video playlists all the way back to the first one with the janky cameras and just it's been steadily evolving, hopefully for the better.
Yes, absolutely. And our first episode, technically, I guess, was the Billy Sheehan one, right? And then the next one was in the studio.
Yep.
But it continues to evolve, as does the gear in front of us. And shall we roll into it? Yeah?
Sure. So
we got this awesome Ultimate Support Genesis Series pedalboard here, the GSP 500 Black. Mm-hmm. So what pedalboard do you use?
I actually don't know what it is. I inherited it from Tino, my partner over here at EnterTalk. That was a bass rig. I forgot who makes it. It's a little bit...
It's a flat one you have,
yeah,
right?
It's a flat one, so that's a little bit of it because I have a couple of rows and I have to be careful not to step on it, so it's not quite as cool as an angled one. But it's good because it's got the underneath compartment where you could get all the cables kind of organized and out of the way, so I do like about that. But the fact that it's not angled sometimes could be problematic.
Well, hopefully we'll see what the Genesis series can do here to convince you of it. So you never had any others aside from that one, have you?
I did. I had some a homemade wooden thing, and just one of those little plasticky basic ones before that. Yeah,
and I've gone through a couple before of Pedal Train. I've always wanted to jump to Temple Audio, but it's quite a bit to put together, and there's all kinds of companies out there, but Ultimate Support has taken a lot of the features that have been missing from others or only available in some and kind of put it all together here. Mm-hmm. Right off the top, it is the look that we've all come to recognize now that not bigger companies, but more recognized companies in the pedalboard game have brought forth with the angled slat design here. But we have, it's got plenty of space, as you can see on it. I mean, we only have 5 pedals up here and not even putting the expression pedal up there yet, which you could put anywhere you want it. It's loose for today to pass it back and forth. But it also, what's cool about this one, it comes with some brackets for putting the power supply underneath.
Yep.
We don't have a floating camera to kind of show underneath, but it also has these hooks for cable management there, and has another cool feature right up top here where you can put straight up or angled a mic stand to save some space, which I thought was pretty cool.
And is that something that's unique to Ultimate Support?
I have not seen that with anyone else as far as even the custom built for you companies. I haven't seen that feature yet.
Very cool. It's one of those things that's kind of duh, seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah,
Why
right?
didn't I think of it?
And you can move this anywhere that's convenient.
Yep, could be slide side to side, the two different.
Because it just clamps kind of on top and on bottom and you screw it together. And I believe the cable management things you can slide around as well, correct?
Yeah, absolutely, they slide. So all you guitar players out there that like to pretend that you know how to sing, this is the way to go.
Yeah, instead of having to have your foot off at a weird angle to the side to hit what's coming next, it's just right underneath you, which is really convenient. And of course it comes with Velcro to put up top, but we decided to just leave it bare for today because we're not going to put Velcro on the pedals that we do have above here. But we also have a contest, I believe, coming up with Ultimate Support as well.
That's right. It's going on right now. Ultimate Support, first of all, they were kind enough to give us this guy.
Yes,
for
thank you
demo,
very
so
much,
thank you
Ultimate
very much.
Support.
And they're giving away 10 more of these in a contest that Pitbull Audio is running.
Yes.
We're going to be giving away 2 of them a week, every week starting...
Is it November?
Next, not tomorrow, the following Friday, I believe.
Awesome.
The 3rd, November 3rd, I think, if I'm not getting my calendar.
Yeah.
So on Friday, 2 winners Friday, and then 2 winners every Friday up until December 1st, I believe.
Nice.
And you can enter the contest by going to EnterTalkRadio.com, and right on our front page there's a poster for it. Click on the link, enter the contest. There are several ways to enter it. The more ways you enter, the more chances you have to win. So you could sign up, you could share a Facebook, you could retweet, I think, a tweet. So you can improve your chances of winning by doing it multiple ways.
And we're giving away 10, so you do have many chances to win them.
Yep.
I mean, this is a pretty cool. I mean, they're giving away a really good-sized pedal board. I mean, you could probably fit somewhere between around 10 or 12, depending on the size, comfortably, and have a solid, nice Pedal Power Plus, Voodoo Labs, or Walrus Audio, whatever your choice of power supply on the bottom. And again, the organization features on it make it really, really cool.
Yeah, very cool. And they go for $199.
Yes,
I
yeah,
believe.
$199.
Okay, so before we dive into just to humor me for a second, can we just hear like one of these for like a second each? Just we'll be going into this for a little bit later.
I'll let you choose. Which one would you want to hear?
This one. What is this?
That is the Belle Epoch Deluxe from Catalinbread. So Catalinbread has had a actually that's the oscillation. This one right here.
I wouldn't even explain what these are. I just want to hear a couple of.
Go for it. Yeah.
Nice. All right.
There we go.
All right. Very cool.
And let's go jump back here.
Sweet.
Nice little verb. And this guy over here.
All right, that's good. Just a little,
Just to
a little
start with.
teaser, a little preview for what's
Yeah.
going to be coming on later. But before we do that, we have with us on the line Paul Nunn from Ultimate Support. How's it
There
going?
he is.
There he is.
How's it going, Paul?
Hi guys. Good. How are y'all?
Great. So we have this awesome Genesis pedal board right here in front of us. Is this Ultimate Support's first attempt at a pedal board?
It is indeed. Yeah, we wanted to do it, so we started in the middle with the medium size, and it's born of all my frustrations and some great ideas of Mike Bielitz's that we just sort of smashed together with the help of our engineer. And I've been testing it. I love mine. Mine has way too many pedals on it. I know that I can
no
say
such thing.
confidently you can fit at least 10 if those 10 include like Strymons and three-way switches. I'm looking down and counting with my eyes as I turn to the right there.
Right on.
So what were some of those frustrations that you were running into?
Well, back when I used to do tech work, there was that continuous frustration of the vocalist wants a tripod mic stand or a round bass mic stand, and we also need to work in the pedals, so you couldn't have certain people on pedal boards, things like that. And then just my own, I thought it was really annoying to have to order a kit to put, and I hated taking a drill to pedal boards to put a power supply in. I just thought that was nuts. It was like, these things are boxes. They're all boxes. If there was one that was like some kind of crazy Judy Jetson car where you're like, oh, I don't know how we're going to hold that. We're going to need rubber clamps made of plutonium. If it had been something like that, I think I would have been like, okay, that's why that doesn't exist. But then I just sort of started talking about it like an idiot, and our engineer was like, what about clamps? It's like, okay, yeah, what about clamps? Let's clamp things. And so now we're clamping.
Awesome. Right. Well, it made for one very feature-packed pedal board. I mean, it really is one of those things where the small touches make a difference, such as these little hooks to organize cables, because I can't count how many times I've had to turn my board at home upside down, get gaffer's tape and zip ties, and just make a mess underneath to make it function.
I've done bizarre things over the years with Velcro loops and Scotch tape and, regrettably enough, electrical tape at times, and it was just like, why? And those are the same clips if you're familiar with our Apex stands. So anybody who wants an idea, like, how durable are these things? They're very, I mean, I feel like you feel them when you touch them. You're like, oh my God, these are some serious clamps. So everything in that thing feels durable.
And have you guys given any of these to artists who have loaded them up and taken them up on the road yet?
We have got a bunch going out. I know there's some that are traveling with Josh Todd and the Conflict right now, so they are getting some serious rock from Stevie over there. And we've got a couple of other bands. More people will be surfacing with pictures in the future, and I'm keeping some of it a secret because it's exciting. And then we try to get them out there with as many people as we can. But we're really just kicking off the big promotion with all of this. I just saw someone crawl through the frame. I shouldn't call attention to it, but I had to.
We're dodging machine gun fire down here.
Oh, it's all good.
Fair. It's dangerous times we live in.
Yeah.
So.
True. So is this the only size available, or are there other dimensions available for the Genesis series?
I said last week, and I'll have to say again, I don't want to give too much away, but there's a lot of announcements coming up on that front. So.
Gotcha.
I think people, if there's somebody out there that's going, well, man, that's not the one for me, they'll be happy soon.
Was that
right
Hank
on.
Hill? That sounded like Hank Hill. That's not the one for Hank Hill.
He thinks it's asinine.
Damn it. Bobby, I need a bigger pedal board. This is crazy.
Oh, that's not bad.
We're gonna hook up my tanks for propane.
That's what you need. You need some propane clips.
That's a new feature that's coming up. Yeah.
Oh, but we just gave it away. There goes the NAMM announcement. That was damn it.
Shoot.
So,
Now what are we gonna talk about?
I'll tell you what.
So are there any are there any features that we've been missing, ones that are asinine or not, that might be able to convince potential customers that you're excited about in the Genesis?
I don't think you guys mentioned. I was actually watching. I was like, man, they really know the product. I don't have a whole lot to say here except for I can roll out some square inches. And the one thing that you guys did mention though was the bag itself.
Oh yeah,
we
here.
got it right over here.
And that I think is, it's a soft case. It's not an ATA solution, but it's from our Hybrid 2.0 series, and those bags are thick. They're water resistant. It's got a great finish. The big pocket holds it together, light to move. And I think that's kind of the secret bonus that goes in there when you think about what it costs to get a pedal board like this from the more boutique companies and from the standard fare companies. I think $199, you're like, oh my gosh, and thank you. That's some beautiful Vanna White stuff that's happening. Great.
I just really wish I just for once had some lights that tap to touch that turn into numbers or letters.
We could probably do that up here.
But this is a really nice padded case. I have a pedal board similar to this from another big company that came with a case that barely lasted. I think my dogs got a hold of it the first night and tore holes in it. This would.
Is that dog proof?
Yeah, it's a large dog proof, but it is a very sturdy case.
It rejects cat hair. I have
That's
cat
actually
hair problems.
perfect.
That's
in my
actually
studio.
good.
Yeah, they've tried their best, but mine is spotless to this day. So.
Right on. I'm glad to hear it. It's really such a cool product. I actually look forward to what you guys are going to do with it in the future. I hate to try to ask questions that give anything else away, like attachments or such.
And it's, you can ask. I just don't know I don't even know what I should say half the time with this. I'm like, well, should I say? No, I won't talk about it. I'll just say things about variety and features and great prices. And then I'll do a thumbs up and you guys will buy my car, maybe even. So. It's a Golf.
Great. Yeah.
Selling a car for sure. Does it have a microphone stand?
Does it come with its own bag?
It's got attachments for every musician. The bassist can ride right there where the hood ornament goes. It's a good time.
Perfect. Florentino's going to like that one, riding on the hood ornament. But it's a very cool product. thank you very much for joining us. Is there anything else that they want to point out, or should we just wait for the NAMM announcements?
I'll hold on the secrets. The other thing is just I feel like it's one of those things where people need to get their hands on it. They might look at it on the internet and see slats, but when you touch it, it's,
yeah, absolutely.
You get you get what it is, and you get why it's different.
Yeah, exactly. The construction is just so solid and just feels really, really good.
And actually, I did have a related question for Ultimate Support. I mean, people know him for making all kinds of stands, be it for lighting, for speakers. But, I mean, you guys have this, but you do have other guitar products. Is there anything you'd like to point out that our listeners should check out?
This guy right behind me, actually, that's holding my Strat, is a GS1000. It's got a self-closing gate and
Nice.
padded legs. The fabric we use there is designed to not cause some of the nasty foam reaction with different nitrocellulose finishes and stuff like that. And I always tell people, if you can't afford a guitar tech, you should just go buy a GS1000 Pro. And we have a full line of guitar stands. We got the Amp 150, which I can't show, but it's a tilting back amp stand that also includes a mount for our Ultiboom Pro, which I can show because I keep our gear all over the place. And the Ultiboom Pro is it's a one-touch, one-position kind of mic stand that uses this Z knob to give people a really wide range of things they can do in one move. They can lock the thing in, and it's a really great boom stand for miking your amps. And I always make jokes that are possibly in poor taste that, if you're ever the kind of person who just gets drunk and decides to do a lot of guitar part tracking, which of course is not me,
I've
but
been
if
there.
you were that person, we make the stands that are perfect for setting that up. Otherwise, you're going to drop mics. I've done it. I've done all of these things. I now work somewhere where I get really great swag from the job.
Nice. So I like the idea of engineering by mistake, potentially drunken mistake, for prevention. That's right up my alley.
It worked for Zeppelin, so let's do this.
Awesome. That's very cool. I'm definitely be stoked to check out more of the Ultimate Support products and cannot wait to see what you guys put out at NAMM and announce soon.
Yeah, and I forgot to say, this desk that's behind me is also one of our products.
That's right.
Oh, right.
You guys got a bunch of different size studio desks that you're carrying.
Yes, and this is totally the one that's my favorite. Oh yeah, and we've got our monitor stands back there holding up the monitors. So my room is apparently a showroom.
It's pretty swanky.
I got to point out, my favorite part of the room is the Lost in Translation and Labyrinth posters, two of my favorite movies. That's mainly what my eyes are on while I've been watching this.
That's a good eye. And I looked earlier when we were setting up the shot. I was like, oh, that's a Bill Murray crotch shot, isn't it?
It is.
I hope people know what that is.
Somewhere he's choosing that with a glass of scotch in the air. I think he'd be happy with it.
That's how he wanted that to be. He wanted the original cover to be just that much.
With the Suntory Time logo right over it. That would have been perfect.
Relaxing times.
Exactly. Well, thank you
Very
very
cool.
much.
You want to throw out some URLs, social media? Where can people check you guys out?
Facebook.com/ultimate.support. Instagram is just Ultimate Support. And then on Twitter, we're Ultimate Stands. And you can learn everything there is to know and find places to buy all of our products at ultimatesupport.com.
Very cool.
Yeah, very cool. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Paul.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. And we're very grateful and excited about the contest and the giveaways.
Yes, absolutely.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Absolutely. We'll be pushing that and keeping up with it as it goes. And you guys have a great contest. Let's do this.
Right.
All right, Paul.
Awesome.
Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, this is definitely a very, very convincing product. And of course, you guys can always go to pitbullaudio.com, or if you're in the San Diego area, come down to our National City store. We'll check them out. But it's sturdy as hell, and I mean, you take this out on show and on the road, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, who knows? You might have found your new pedal board. Now you get angles. Aren't you excited? Now, wait, do you do any vocals?
Very, very rarely. Probably not enough to justify putting a microphone stand on my board.
Wait, how many pedals are on your board nowadays? I know you've kind of flipped a few around, maybe.
Probably about 10 or so, yeah, 10 or 12.
Nice. And you haven't had any space problems on your others, or?
I've just kind of left it alone. Yeah. If I need to add something, I'll usually subtract something because I have a couple of pedals on there that are just kind of sitting there but not getting a whole ton of use. So it's usually not a big deal to sacrifice some kind of a modulation thing.
That doesn't make the cut, and you just don't need for your set. Fair enough. Now, wow. So you never looked at Pedal Train, or never looked at
I think
you never went across and tried to shop across and see what features were missing or needed in your world.
Nope, not really. So the one I have now actually does kind of have a bracketed case that you could almost fit a power supply. I had to kind of like knock one in there with a mallet. But yeah, the cable ties. Well, this is definitely a very, very cool design. Would probably like to swap them out.
And when you guys open this up, I mean, it came with did not come with the mic stand, of course, but you can always just get that from Pitbull Audio. We sell all their speaker stands, mic stands, accessories too. Actually, have you ever bought anything else from, like, do you have an amp case at all or anything that you, or amp stand,
I just have like a soft cover. I don't have a hard case.
Gotcha.
I don't really do any kind of road gigging. It's usually just local things here. I just toss it in the back of a car.
Gotcha.
I don't have to get super heavy with it. I do have a heavy road case for my pedal board, which actually makes the whole thing super heavy. It's a pain in the butt to carry around. So I'm actually might steal that soft case.
Right on. Well, I mean, hell, if it works, and you do need to protect your pedals. Actually, that's one of the big benefits of having a nice pedal board like this, is everything is velcroed on, attached, power supply is set. You just pull it out of the case, lay it down, and hook up your IEC to the power supply, and you're good to go after a couple more cables. And I still see people gigging with just a small smattering of pedals just on the floor with cables, and just
I see that sometimes.
You don't have to do that anymore.
And it's kind of a bit of a dick move to do, but I see that and I start judging like, oh, this is like some amateur, and a lot of times they'll start playing and they're like amazing. I was like, dude, you're awesome. Like, get your pedals together.
Just make it easy for yourself.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's there's some guys who just don't think about it, and those are those guys who just I sound the way I sound. It's all in the fingers for me. Which, if you're that way, cool.
It is cool, but I mean, just having to sit there and plug a bunch of pedals together every gig is, can't go back to that.
Well, it also depends on how many to use. For the amount that I use, that would eat up a little bit too much time in between sets. So.
I mean, even if it's anything over like 3 pedals, that's already too much work crawling around them. And those bar stages are usually not the most clean things you want to be down on all fours touching with your hands.
So we're making that a rule now. If you have 3 pedals or under, you're fine with just.
I would say so.
Yeah. I could agree to that actually now.
Throw some 9 volts in there, pray for a good time.
Well, speaking of pedals, I think we should probably dive into at least 1 or 2 of these.
Sure.
Now let's just start at the front of the chain. So we got here from Electrical Audio Experiments, the Dude Incredible. This, I hate to say we actually don't sell Pitbull Audio, but I got this on loaner until I get my own, and I thought it was just too cool to not bring in. John Snyder is the man behind Electrical Audio Experiments out of Massachusetts, and what he did in here, it is basically Steve Albini's shellac sound in a box. It is the kind of the preamp section of an Intersound IVP, which was a preamp from the 70s, 80s, I think, that had a very direct, sharp sort of sound. Steve Albini uses one. Actually, Jerry Garcia used one.
Really?
Yeah, for a bit. It has the preamp section of that, and then a fuzz running into it, but it's just not really any fuzz. It is a copy sort of the Interfax harmonic percolator, which was I forgot if it's even or odd order harmonic fuzz. Just a really unique sound, but this is our dry right here, and then we'll just turn on. Here, we'll do everything at noon. shot with June. I'll show what the EQ can do.
Nice.
So it's definitely got a pretty fair amount of gain on tap, and it is articulate, which is why I've been out for this thing for a while. It just cuts. It just is sharp as hell, but we'll add in this, which you can actually turn on independently, the percolator side, which is just that strip right there. These 4 knobs are for the IVP side. So really it's together, and I want the treble way up and gain up where this thing just shines.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what you think of that with the fuzz on. So pretty neat sounding. I love this thing. I am definitely getting one as soon as another batch of these are ready. electronicAudioexperiments.com. You can check it out there. These go for $235. Just really rad. Awesome work, John Snyder. This thing is cool, and I cannot wait to get mine. We're about to go to break. We got 4 more pedals when we come back.
This is Paul Berezetsky.
And Eric Lucero.
And this is Sharpen the Axe. And
On EnterTalk Radio.
We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Play around with some more of these pretty pedals. Stay tuned.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al Di Meola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. Allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove on?
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on EnterTalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
You know what's all around you every waking moment of your life? Marketing. You're choking on it. I'm Scott Robertson, and when it comes to strategic PR, branding, and marketing, I've seen it all. And actually, I'm still seeing it because bad marketing never sleeps. Join me each week on May the Best Brand Win, right here on EnterTalk Radio, and learn how to make the marketing for your brand unforgettable.
Welcome to Sharpen the Axe. Explore the bleeding edge of guitar and bass gear. Discover a sound uniquely your own and cut through the noise. With your hosts, Eric Lucero and Paul Berezetsky.
Awesome, and here we are back with the second half and all these pretty, pretty pedals.
And if you're just joining us, where they're sitting on top of an Ultimate Support Genesis Series pedalboard, which we are going to be giving away 10 of in the next month or so. It's
Through December 31st?
December 1st.
December 1st, okay.
Yeah, so pretty much all through November, through the whatever end of October and November, we're giving away 2 every week. If you go to EnterTalkRadio.com, you should find a contest right on our homepage. To follow the link, there's a bunch of ways to enter. It's $199.99 for one of these, and it's
feature packed. It is convenient. It has all kinds of goodies with it, like the mic stand, brackets for your power supply, cable organization, hooks in the back and underneath. It's really cool, and it's perfect for about 10 or so pedals, depending on the size. Speaking of the pedals, we got a bunch on top here. So we'll go through the chain with a quick explanation. We have the Electronic Audio Experiments Dude Incredible, which is a gain stage and a fuzz. Actually, the fuzz going into the gain stage.
Dude Incredible.
Exactly, right? Named after a shellac album, Steve Albini's band. Steve Albini produced Nirvana's In Utero, 1,001 other albums he's produced and recorded. Amazing guitar tone. Next in line is the Earthquaker Devices Rainbow Machine, which I'm sure a lot of all listeners have seen before. It is a odd pitch shifting device, to say the least. That's going into the Alexander Effects Neo Series F13 and Sci-Fi Flanger. This thing is possibly might be more feature packed than the Ultimate Support pedalboard it sits on. This thing's crazy. Then is the Catalinbread Belle Epoch Deluxe, a echo machine with a few 6 echo modes, yeah. And the Keeley Vibe-O-Verb reverb with modulation. And for the expression needs, right here, the Mission Engineering EP1 expression pedal.
This Vibe-O-Verb really matches your aluminum neck.
Yeah, it does go with it pretty well, I do have to say. It matches nicely. I'm attracted to anything shiny and chromy.
You're like a crow.
That's not unfair, I hate to say, yeah. Shiny enough, I'll tilt my head towards it and hop near. So we did the Dude Incredible after, or before, the last break, which is just very cool sounding gain and fuzz. Now, you were stoked about this when we were trying to plan out the show, the Rainbow Machine. So have you messed with one at all before today when I brought it?
Nope, I just saw a video online of someone using it with 2 expression pedals.
Yes, yeah, which we'll explain as we go through the features. It's like a pitch shifter, and it does all kinds of weird, echoey, pixie trail stuff. The pitch controls where it goes up or down too, from a 4th below to a major 3rd up. You bring in the first voice in primary. This is like a blend control. There's a second harmony you bring in with a secondary there. The magic and tracking buttons work with the magic switch here, which they don't really explain what they do. Yeah, it's just magic with a tracking control.
It's unicorn tears.
Pretty much in the box of this, and elf blood. I'm assuming elf blood. Yes.
You gotta have that.
And a tone control, but let's bring it in. So let's hear your dry. That's dry, and I'm gonna bring in the voice with it.
There's that elf blood.
There's a second voice. So it is a very trippy, trippy sounding effect. It definitely for the experimentalists out there. There we go. You can kind of get it near the to a chorusy sort of thing. Let's add some gain. And now, let's go back to clean and add in the magic.
You can basically sound like Frank Zappa without knowing how to do much of anything.
Sorry, I was lost in the trails. I didn't hear a single word you said. But yeah, it's it is a difficult thing. Not difficult, but it's a weird thing to try to find a place for, like a spot in a song. But it is just there for fun in the way I've always approached it. But it is cool in that respect. And I'm using the Dude Incredible to push it a little bit volume-wise.
So which the expression pedal is modulating what?
It's controlling the pitch.
The pitch.
So if I have that at the max, the toe down should be the max. There you go. It's not meant for anything normal, what can you say? But I love this thing to death. The fuzz on that. Yeah, you want to sound weird? Get a rainbow machine. It's pretty easy. So does this sound anything like you would have expected it to?
It's called a rainbow machine. I would have expected something like that, but
along those lines.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. It's just a very cool thing. I think it sounds better with other things following it, like if you just jump ahead to the
delay,
echo.
Yeah. For sure. Oh yeah. That's
So
cool.
you kind of have to use some techniques, something with it to make it a little more make it synth and patty like I did with the volume swell and hitting it at the right spot. But we could go on endlessly with.
And we will.
We really could. Paul could fill the rest of the show just messing with the rainbow machine. Well, we got to jump to the other goodies we got here with us. Next up is the Alexander Effects F13N Sci-Fi Flanger. This is, along with the Syntax Error, which I'll bring in another time, is part of their Neo series, which have so many features in them that I still had to bring the manual out to figure them all out. But it's just a cool sounding flanger with 4 modes, but you could also, with the jack there, put it in a remote switch, like a favorite switch or a preset switch, an expression pedal, or take it out to MIDI control with this. Mm-hmm. So let's go to the first mode of just standard sort of flanger. So in the general controls, it's just a rate, depth, mix, and regeneration. But you see underneath that there are other alternate controls. So one of the sort of hidden, not so hidden features is that you hold down the middle button, which also scrolls through the modes. So say if I want to put up the output level, I hold down that button, top changes color, and then I adjust the output level. And once it's back to that, then it's just the mix control again. So let's jump to the next mode, which is the step. Oh, maybe. There we go. Oh, it's the volume. There we are, all right. Having a little technical difficulty.
Maybe my switch is getting funky.
Uh-oh. Time to call Sean.
What'd you do there?
I went to the dyno, which is the dynamic sort of mode, so it has the pick attack in it. And I have to go back to see what the alternate feature here.
Oh wow, so the harder I attack, it changes the...
Yep. We go to control the sweep of it. Go ahead. Let's go to the next one, the Echo, this Flanger with Echo.
Wow. This is basically like Floyd in a box.
Right, a little bit. Yeah, I can have that sort of flangery sound. I mean, the echoey sound with flanger. So what are your thoughts so far on the versatility of this F13N?
This is awesome. This is epic.
So are you much of a flanger guy in general? Like, I really have never used them too much except for songs that called for them.
Right, I've had a couple that, it's one of those things that's very cool to mess around with, but in a live setting, not always. Like, they kind of don't necessarily translate in a live band in a performance. But this, it's hard to know until you play it with drums and bass and everything. But everything sounds like musical. It doesn't seem to kind of hide what you're playing underneath just a bunch of effects.
Yeah, it doesn't just completely soak it. Plus, luckily, you have the mix and level underneath it as the alternate control. But it's much more versatile for a box of this size than you think it would. It can also actually take the USB out into your computer and use it almost as plug right into your computer from it as a USB out on the back.
To use it as an effect in a
DAW? As an interface, yeah. I believe.
Well, just as an.
Well, take your signal into the computer at least. At least that's, I believe, what it said it could do on the back. But yeah, it's amazing what they really have packed into here, especially with the red jack on the side that can be used for expression remote. know you want to know what this sounds like, one into the other.
Oh, I could do that.
Yeah?
What is that? Yes song. I have no idea.
Don't know, no.
I don't know what it's called or how to play it, but that's what it sounds like to me.
Right on. Yeah, it's again a very cool flanger from Alexander Effects from their new Neo series, which so far with the syntax error in this one are just feature packed, flexible as hell. Very cool stuff. Now, next in line is our delay for the evening, the Belle Epoch Deluxe. So the Belle Epoch from Catalinbread has been one of their most famous designs. It's basically Benson Echo Rec, Pink Floydy as hell. This one has some expanded features such as the dedicated oscillation switch there and some expanded controls up top. Because you can also use the preamp stage like from the Echoplex in there to kind of tape saturate your... Very nice sounding. It was a very, very cool sounding pedal, and I like the dedicated oscillation.
I would abuse this.
Yeah, it's hard not to.
This would be the ending of every song.
Yeah, it's very tempting to do that all the time, or into a break where you're about to solo burst out of it.
Or just play Space Oddity all night.
Pretty much, yeah. Let's here. How about while I play, if you turn some of the dials and show its ranges. But a great analog, epic sounding delay, epic EPI scene, not the name of this, but it's been a very popular analog delay for us for the tape echo simulation, and especially with that saturation you can get in the front. I grabbed the wrong one. They're tiny letters, I can barely read them.
That's why I was just randomly spinning things.
Yeah, stacking another gain into that. Couldn't help myself. But stacking another gain into that very famous Echoplex preamp stage in there can create some cool things. And I mean, Van Halen was known for using the Echoplex just for the gain stage. The Exotic Effects EP booster is basically just that in a box, and a lot of other people have isolated that circuit. So it's cool to have a little bit of control of that preamp stage, and by itself or stacked with another drive, being able to make it work.
Does this take an expression pedal?
Yes, it does.
Let's see what
so
that
we're going to
does.
plug that into there, and I'll tell you what, I'll manipulate that while you play, and it can be assigned to a couple different things. I believe it might be blend on here. I didn't open it up to change that. So here it is as a blend to be able to bring in your delay. And when you're done and going back to rhythm, blend it out. So that is showing off the many uses of a good expression pedal. And I gotta actually point out that we have 3 devices, the Belle Epoch, the F13, and the Rainbow Machine, that all 3 have expression pedal inputs. And another cool device from Mission Engineering that I didn't bring today but could be useful here is their Expressionator, which is kind of like a little box. It's tiny. It's about the size of almost the size of a credit card that takes in one expression pedal and sends it out to 3 different pedals.
That's
and you
right.
can choose between which one you want to control, and you can also choose the taper and the curve of the sweep on the EP1s or whatever Mission Engineering expression pedal. That's a really cool, clever device to have around. And if you're like me, who
because you definitely don't want 3 of these on your board just to.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to take up a whole lot of space. Yeah. And for a lot of people, actually, with wahs, volumes, or expression pedals, will keep it off their pedal board. I've always tried to find a way to fit it in, just for convenience's sake. Like, it being on an angle doesn't bother me. It does bother some people. But it's the Expressionator from Mission Engineering is just one of the coolest devices out there if you're a big pedal guy, and always very, very useful. This last one does not need the Expressionator, but it's still something very cool anyway. Robert Keeley has been making really awesome effects for a long time now. Makes all kinds of cool stuff, and it seems that every time I blink my eyes, he has something new on his website. This one's been around for a little bit, but it's a very cool pedal, the Vibe-O-Verb. It's a reverb that adds in effects, in this case a harmonic tremolo, vibrato, or phaser. So let's turn it on and give it a shot there.
And right now it's set to...
I'll do it clean first, actually.
So the one all the way on top, I can't read that. What's
harmonic is like the harmonic tremolo that's say on a 63 Fender Brown Face, or a bunch of people have made it into pedals like Walrus Audio or Quaker Devices, but it takes splits your signal in 180 degrees, highs and lows, and modulates them both. But not quite coming through. Let's see if we can increase that a little bit, the depth, decay, and blend. Just max it out and make it heard.
There it is.
So very like Swerve Driver and Shoegazy. It's very cool for that stuff. That requires a fuzz. A little bit of gain.
Nice. That's awesome. So your melodies are cutting through with the effect kind of almost going on the below it as a background, and then when you just stop playing, it all blended together.
As it hazes over each other, just sustained. And I have it really extreme with the decay going fully for a long time, but yeah, go ahead and give it a shot. Very neat sounding. So for the next one, for the vibrato voice, I'm going to turn down the percolator side and just have a little bit of gain on the... There we are. Go to the last one, the phaser. So it's very, very cool kind of reverb. And then, yeah, you ran out of time, but it's all good. Thank you very much for joining us on this episode of Sharpen the Axe on EnterTalk Radio, powered by Pitbull Audio, where you can check all this out. I'm Eric Lucero.
I'm Paul Berezetsky.
We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for watching.
You know what's all around you every waking moment of your life? Marketing. You're choking on it. I'm Scott Robertson, and when it comes to strategic PR, branding, and marketing, I've seen it all. And actually, I'm still seeing it because bad marketing never sleeps. Join me each week on May the Best Brand Win, right here on EnterTalk Radio, and learn how to make the marketing for your brand unforgettable.
Hi, this is Tim Dolbear from Eclectica Studios. I'm a full-time mixing and recording engineer. I work with Grammy winners, labels, and indie artists, using state-of-the-art digital mixing and restoration tools and the very best in analog gear.